Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's your boy, The Failed Author. We're starting a new segment on the channel. This is now Tier List Tuesday. Every Tuesday, we're going to try and post a tier list. Can't guarantee every Tuesday, but we're going to try and do every Tuesday. But if you look today, what do we have today? We are ranking the classic Call of Duties. And I know what you're asking. Where does the classic era stop? That can be debated, but for my take, I really am going to put it at Call of Duty Ghosts. And I know what you're thinking. Ghosts? That wasn't that long ago. My friends, Call of Duty Ghost was in fact that long ago. And I know what you're saying, but it was trash. Yeah, it wasn't particularly good, but we're still going to put it in here, okay? And as of recording this is the end of 2014. Ghost came out in 2013, so I mean, it's well over a decade old now. So we're going to put it in the classic COD era. But let's go ahead and start. Now, Call of Duty 1, I know what you're thinking. Call of Duty 1. Did you even play that? Yes, I actually played the PlayStation version, the PlayStation 2, I should say, which was Call of Duty Finest Hour. And I will say I played the tard off that freaking game. I played that game so much, particularly two levels or two segments. There's the Russian campaign. Mind you, it's World War II, right? So the Stalingrad and just the whole Russian campaign, because you have this really epic sniper battle for a tractor factory against a certain regime, which we don't want to say on YouTube because we don't want to get it demonetized, but we know they're evil scumbags and we hate them forever. But that is a different story for a different day. It was a great game, especially for the time. The gunplay was a little wonky. The recoil on a lot of the guns is kind of whack. It's kind of difficult to manage. The whole health system, this is back when med packs were a thing, so you had to deal with that. But overall, I'm going to give it good. And let's be real, if there was a separate tier, I'd kind of put it right between good and mid. Call of Duty 2. Yes. I actually didn't really play Call of Duty 2. I know. I think it was the big red one on the PlayStation 2. I was not a PC gamer growing up. We weren't rich like that, okay? We did not have the funds. We didn't have the means, okay? But I can imagine. I have played, technically, the big red one, and I'm pretty sure that's the console, duplicate. But I can't really rank it. So we're going to put it never played. But if I had to bet, it would be, again, somewhere between mid and good. Call of Duty 3, good. Now, Call of Duty 3 is very beloved. Let's be real. The online multiplayer, it was fun and very simplistic, very bare bones, but it was fun. And this is kind of where the sniping community really started. Kids, I know what you're going to think. Modern Warfare 2, I know what you're thinking. Quickscope and montage of Zergriz. Yes, Sandy Ravage. I agree. I totally get it. That is the boom time. But you got to remember, before that, they were out here using the Kar 98K with no scope, just blasting. So I got to give love to Call of Duty 3. Not my personal favorite. I didn't even remember the campaign. I just played the multiplayer on that one, so that's cool. Call of Duty 4. Now we're talking. Ooh. Great. Great. You're going to see a theme here with the classic CODs. But I'll tell you what, they're pretty good. But Call of Duty 4 is a special game, kind of brings first-person shooter multiplayer to the forefront. A lot of people will say Halo, and Halo, of course, is just as important. The accessibility, the realism, the graphics for the time, just a lot you could do in the multiplayer, especially when comparing it to Call of Duty 3. A lot of different play styles, a lot of different weapons, of course, not being set in World War II, of course, was going to help that out. So many different groundbreaking things, the kill streaks. I get chills just thinking about Call of Duty 4's prime. And I'll be quite honest with you. I wasn't even in COD 4's prime as far as the first year. I played it about a year or two, probably 2 years after release. No, it was about a year, because World at War still wasn't quite a year old yet. So, the memories, the headshots to get the different camouflages, cage match, which I think was a very underrated aspect, literally 1v1. Very cool, very interesting. World at War, no, I often go back and forth what my favorite COD is. But I am going to put World at War into the GOAT territory. Maybe I'm going to be a little too nice here. Maybe there's going to be a little too many goats, but you got to understand the importance of Call of Duty at the time, right? You know what? I'm going to backtrack this a little bit. I'm going to put it here for now, and we'll discuss why. It is great. It's probably my favorite classic Call of Duty. There's just a lot going on there that makes it work, from really, they're sharing the same engine here as COD 4. So you knew the gunplay was going to be just as good as COD 4, just transitioning back to World War II weapons, which they absolutely nailed. Nah, nothing's perfect. We could go over in COD 4 and discuss all the broken things they had there. Don't get me started with frag times 3. Mamma mia. And the different weapons that were overpowered, quickscoping being a problem, the MP5 being a problem, the AK. What about all the weird glitches? Like, if you use the AK-47 in COD 4 with no attachment, it gets a technical power boost. That thing was like unstoppable. It's crazy. World at War's big issue, let's be real, was the MP40 and Juggernaut, or the MP40 in any combination, but mainly Juggernaut being just an absolute nightmare, making you a walking god of the game. Why I love World at War? I sunk so many hours in the multiplayer, but really it was the zombies mode. The introduction of zombie modes kind of changes the franchise, gives it a little more flavor, gives it a little more personality. And that's kind of cool, because how many games deep are we now? 5 games deep before they do this. It's what really kept them fresh and so innovative for so long. But we love World at War. Modern Warfare 2, holy smokes. Holy smokes. I mean, I shouldn't, but I'm gonna put it in that GOAT territory. Didn't have zombies mode, which I was frustrated against, right? But the multiplayer was just so special. And really, it comes down to the kill streaks, the fast-paced nature of the game, which was, up until that point, I hadn't really experienced anything like that. And I haven't really experienced anything that got me going as far as chasing a nuke since that. And that's why if you go on my channel, you can see we've gotten technically 3 nukes on the channel. And I mean, there's a reason I keep going back to it, even though it's broken and buggy and hard to play in 2024. And it's so old. I can't even believe I'm saying this, but it came out in 2009, which is crazy. It just was awesome. The camos, the weapon unlocks, the emblems, the titles, all of those things. Don't even get me started on the random crap, like playing Michael Myers or using the care packages on certain maps like Quarry to climb up it. It just had so much random stuff that me and the boys will always have the memories. And you can't see it, but I took my hat off for respect. Press F's, comment F's in the chat, boys, to pay respect, because we all know we need it right now. Don't get me started on the campaign. It was good. Spec Ops was not zombies, but it was fun. We had more fun. Them Juggernauts and Spec Ops, they were hard. Black Ops, yes, you betcha. That is the second GOAT. Call of Duty Black Ops was the Black Ops. And mind you, I played from 4, onwards. And I really stopped at Black Ops 2. Now I've played Ghost, and we'll get there. We're not going to get ahead of ourselves. But Black Ops is the one I sunk the most time in with my friends. So it's probably the most core memory. We're in high school still, so we're like, oh my gosh, this is the bee's knees. No, there was no nuke, but the zombies mode was better. The multiplayer, dynamite. Now there's some janky things about Black Ops multiplayer that I wasn't the biggest fan of, and I always go, some of the guns sound like toys, and I found that so strange, because like you shoot the Galil, perfect, looks like a real gun, sounds like a real gun, then you shoot the Mac like 11 and you're like, I don't know, you're losing me here, but that's okay. See, we're nitpicking. That's when you know you're great. Right here, great is when you're nitpicking. But I love Black Ops, so many fond memories. Oh, the random tomahawks across the map. Some of the best chasing montage clips in that game was so much fun. Which, on a different YouTube account, I have a couple Black Ops montages. Not to say they're good, but they're not bad. They're not terrible. All right, Modern Warfare 3. I don't know. Somewhere between mid and good. And I know, like, people love this game, They do. And I don't know. Like, if that's good, then I am going to take this one down to mid. I know I said it was somewhere in between, and we're like, 8 minutes in, 9 minutes in, and I have to change it. I do, because just thinking about it, if Modern Warfare 3 is good, then that's definitely mid. I don't know. Here's why it's just good for me. Yes, the gameplay was fun and fast. Yes, there was a nuke. It wasn't quite like Modern Warfare 2, but the Moab didn't end the game, right? I will say I'm just not a quick scoping fan. I didn't like it. I didn't like doing it. I didn't like when other people did it to me. So a whole game essentially made around that exploit. You can see why I'm ranking it, good. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Black Ops 2. Here's a controversial pick. I'm not the biggest fan of this game. And I know this for a lot of people, and for the popularity of the series was the peak. I can tell you right now, 8 out of 10 times when I was playing Black Ops 2, it was to play the zombies map, which was the best zombies experience we've ever had. So, why am I ranking it good? It's like the multiplayer had its moments, but oddly enough, the only way I could get myself to play the multiplayer in its cancerous nature, because it was very exploitative as well, was to play hardcore. And I don't like hardcore mode. I never liked it. And when I feel like I'm forced to play it because the regular one was just such shenanigans, it was never gonna make it past good for me. But oh my goodness, Mom of the Dead, Origins, has my favorite zombies map of all time in Buried. And I hate when people are like, "Oh, it's so easy," and I'm like, listen, when you're just a casual player, just because it's easy doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, right? Especially when you, like, for me, it was always more about the experience and enjoying it. Though I took it serious, I tried to go like high rounds and everything when I would play at times. But I enjoyed playing it with friends, and it was fun, and it was shenanigans, the whole witch's house, and the maze, and finding the pack-a-punch. Those kinds of memories, hard to beat. It's hard to get back there, and the new Call of Duties obviously have lost their identity. They've lost their way. They've just become absolute shills of themselves, and they're just a bunch of corporate jerks making and squeezing every last penny out of their fan base, which is crazy. Because I'm going to go on record, okay? Look at all these Call of Duties here. Yes, they had DLC, right? Optional, did not affect the game. And I'm not even going to throw the new ones under the bus to say they do or they don't. But what I'm getting at is, if you own World at War, the multiplayer was the multiplayer barring maps, right? So now, you're looking at the new ones, and it's just like microtransactions for costumes and camos and all of these different things that I cannot get behind. I can't stand. It's like right now, and I love the NFL. I love my team. The Go Vikings are having a good season. I can't believe it. One thing I can't stand watching football right now is them constantly telling you to gamble on football. Okay? It's like they're not happy enough, these giant companies, you enjoying the product and going to the game and buying food and drinks at the game or buying a jersey or a hat or whatever. They now want you to gamble. It's crazy. It's like they got betting props for first half, and if you don't bet then, they'll put up the props for the second half. They're not having, and that's what I feel like the Call of Duty is going. They're just like, hey, we made a bad game, we released it and it wasn't polished, but we'll just keep releasing new stuff and eventually it'll be playable. And by that time, instead of paying the $60-$70, maybe $80 with DLC down the road, you sank $100-$200 in on different skins and stuff. Isn't that great for you? And I don't think it's great. But we're moving into our last one, Call of Duty Ghosts. I don't know, I think it's trash. And yes, there's some like this growing wave of nostalgia for it right now, which, whatever, if that is your jam. What I can remember about this game was the maps being so big and them still trying to have this like fast, low time to kill gameplay, but you're just running and running around the map. And, sure, the campaign was we're not going to complain about that. We love Ghosts and everything, but man, was it a fall from grace. And looking at this tier list, I am feeling pretty comfortable, especially switching Finest Hour or Call of Duty 1 to the mid, But what do you got to say? Or what can you say to this list? Let me know what you're thinking, because I am curious if you would rank it any differently, if you want to give me any critiques, because I am open to suggestions, and I do read every comment, and for the most part, I comment back on every comment. So let me know what you think. I do think Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops are my goats for Call of Duty. And if you look right under them, great, kind of their predecessors. And if you look under that, it's the sequels to the GOAT games in good. So it kind of shows you what happened. And let's be real, those games have high expectations, and you don't always, meet those expectations. And sometimes it shows, sometimes it doesn't. And I have to say, I still am a huge Call of Duty fan. None of the current games, I just won't play them. They're nothing. They can't tease us to like, oh, Modern Warfare 2 remake, and then it's an absolute joke. Like, they could just update the graphics on Modern Warfare 2, keep it everything same. I mean, even broken stuff. You could make the pre-patch 1886s come back out, and I'm telling you, it would be something that people wanted, and they want it right now. But they're not going to do it because they're cowards. Remember when the remastered Call of Duty 4 came out? And I can't remember which the Call of Duty was attached at the time. Maybe it was just Modern Warfare, right, or whatever. And I'm pretty sure it was. And more people were playing the classic remastered COD 4 than the current COD. That should tell you what the fan base is looking for. But these companies do not care. and that's a shame. But let me know what you think. I do think Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops are the GOATs in Call of Duty. I'm the Failed Author. Welcome to the inaugural episode of Tier List Tuesday. Come back for more. We're posting every Tuesday. Thanks again and have a great day.